You know, in the history of the world, the smartest person in the room has never announced that they are the smartest person in the room. Just take a deep breath. I used to like Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Packers version. Then he became a Jet, and you have to constantly tell everybody how smart you are. And do I find it tiresome?
Never thought 2024 would bring comedian Daniel Tosh.
He, mentioned ivermectin being horse-based and pushed that whole narrative for a long time. He gave a platform to one of the biggest spreaders of misinformation during the COVID times, Dr. Fauci.
Fact-checking and taking to task New York Jets quarterback and proud conspiracy theorist Aaron Rodgers.
The whole thing with him and Jimmy Kimmel over which one of them's a pedophile. Honestly, gun to your head, which one of them would you think is a pedophile? Jimmy Kimmel, who you've seen on TV for 30 years, married, couple kids, just seems like just a normal dude. Or the other guy who always gets engaged to celebrities and then right before they get married, just mysteriously calls off the wedding at the last minute, has a super Christian family that doesn't approve of his lifestyle and has no relationship with him whatsoever. Oh, and he has an extremely creepy mustache. Gun to your head, which one do you go, ooh, if I had to pick one of these as a pedophile?
All fair points from Tosh. Meanwhile,
This has something to do with the Epstein list that came out?
A lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, are really hoping that doesn't.
All right.
it's just so stupid and tiresome, but Rodgers went there.
I enjoy reading. I read studies about this. I've read books. I think Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s book about Fauci is incredible. I know RFK Jr. personally.
So Tosh heard this and reacted in, a very Tosh way.
Then he goes on this long COVID rant, and by the way, he starts the COVID rant in the most pretentious way possible. He's like, I know it's a novel concept, but I like to read. You like to read, and you've done all this research, so you know You know who else likes to read? Tons and tons of Catholic priests who have molested boys. So maybe reading's not so great. Maybe a little less time reading, more time scrolling Instagram and jerking off, and the world would be a better place.
He said it.
I'm going to take my man, RFK Jr.
This was also a terrible moment.
He also brought up Bobby Kennedy, and that should immediately, the conversation should end there. First time I met Bobby Kennedy, this is what he said to me. I introduced him to my wife. He goes, Daniel, I thought you were gay. I'm like, okay, yeah, you should be president. Your gaydar's off.
Tosh roasts Rodgers and RFK, who is a kook, and aligns with Trump confidants. Speaking up.
I'm not a MAGA. I've never had any affiliation with anybody associated with that movement, right?
I'm a great admirer of Robert Kennedy. He's a friend of mine.
Wow.
I am a fan of Bobby Kennedy, so I want people to know that. I actually look at him and I think he's one of those, I actually think I have a lot in common with him.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s campaign is getting traction for one reason. He's speaking truth to power.
I believe that his candidacy may serve the purpose of softening Joe Biden
People are always like, why are you still talking about COVID? Like, why don't you just move on? It's ridiculous. I'm like, well, let's see what happened. They locked everybody up forever. Right? They locked everybody up. Hundreds of thousands of businesses closed and never opened again.
By the way, you made one pass in 2023, and it was incomplete, and made over $37 million. Why don't you just give all of your friends that lost everything $100,000? I bet you they'd bounce right back. You know what else he did? He then brought up surfers, which I was like, oh, here we go. And how surfers were being arrested for surfing. Oh, really? You know what I did during the pandemic in California? Surfed every day with my friends, and none of us were arrested. So quit turning into the clickbait you pretend you hate. Ugh, so annoying.
And yes, I believe that he had a financial incentive to not push ivermectin and HCQ and monoclonal antibodies and zinc and vitamin D and vitamin C.
I don't have a problem with him if he would just come out and be like, hey, this is what I think. But it's when you start saying stuff like, this is what happened, and Fauci is a murderer and he wants everyone dead. It's like, couldn't you be wrong? Like, that's all I want. I'm not going to be like, my wife and my kids died. Oh my goodness. How did they die? Well, I listened to my award-winning doctors from Beverly Hills instead of the quarterback for the Jets. Zach Wilson? No, not Zach Wilson. The other one that reads. You know, the other guy that reads a bunch of books. I should have listened to him, and now instead my wife and kids are dead because I listened to doctors that told me this was the right thing to do. Oh, I'm so mad at myself.
First things first, if there are any stories we missed, if there are any that you would like to submit, get at me and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. DMs are open. Look forward to any and all of y'all's submissions. And please, if you can, support the network. Keep us afloat. Keep us independent. Go to tyt.com/join. Never did I think that Daniel Tosh would have one of the most successful, and I knew it'd be funny, but one of the most successful podcasts, speaking truth and checking those who are just as big as him. Fact-checking Aaron Rodgers. I never thought I would see the day. And what I find to be also pretty interesting is I watched Tosh.0 for many, many years. My sisters and I did. We thought it was hilarious. And to see him as a professional comedian, where he's been great, to take the tools that he has sharpened over the years with his comedic route in his career and use them to dispel anything and everything that Aaron Rodgers has said, pretty priceless, not gonna lie.